to Jadda's Craft Cottage. Today we will be making this autumn pumpkin with corks. Let's get started with the supplies. First you'll need some corks. I used the one that was more of a plastic cork compared to the regular corks. You'll need a mat knife, a cutting surface, a hot glue gun with the glue, or if you don't have a hot glue gun, you can get the E60 or the Gorilla glue. Acrylic paints, I used yellow, green, and orange. This is just plain wire. Leaves that I got from the craft store, or you can make your own leaves. These corks are about 1.5 inches wide, and I'm going to make a mark at 3/4 of an inch so I can make my cuts on it. The mat knife is very sharp, so be careful when you're cutting. I'm going to cut straight down so you can see that it's very easy to cut. Some people suggest you put the corks in water and soak them. They may be for original corks, but I haven't done that. You know, the ones that are real cork. For this pumpkin, I'm using 33 half corks. The first row, I'm going to lay it out so it looks like the pumpkin, the bottom of the pumpkin. And I have my hot glue gun with a silicone mat just to protect it. And I'm just going to glue these all together. The next row is going to have 5 in it. I would put the middle ones first because there's already a groove there. So the first row has 4, the next row has 5, and I'm putting glue in the middle also. The third row has 6. So I'm going to start putting the corks in the middle of the 2, just laying them in there. You want to have these corks quite close together. And then we're going to do the next 2 on the 2 ends to make it 6. This glue is extremely hot, so be careful. Fourth row is also going to have 6, so we're just going to lay them on top of each other. It doesn't matter whether you have the cut side out or the end of your corks showing. We're on the 5th row, and that's going to go back to 5. So we're going to be putting them right in the middle. We're going to glue again the centers. And we're going to put a lot of glue on here because the next row is going to have 4. The last row will only have 3 for the top. Now I'm going to glue a full-size cork right to the top because this will be our stem. You want this to set for maybe 15-20 minutes before you do the next part of the project. I'm now going to show you how to make some leaves. These are the leaves that I made with this white fabric. It's actually a beige on white, or white on beige. And I used green acrylic paint. I used some yellow, and I used some orange. Because these are the colors that your leaves turn in the autumn, so you'll get a lot of different colors. You can see over here it's turning brown too, because if you put orange and green together, you're going to get a brown color. I like the blending. Now I'm going to let this dry for 20 minutes so that I can flip it over and do the other side. I've painted both sides of the fabric, and as you can see, it's pretty stiff. So I'm going to make a template of a leaf. So this is the template of the leaf. Draw around what you think looks good with the coloring. And for each leaf, I had to cut out 2 leaves so I can have a front and back, and then I'll put a wire inside. I'm going to cut this out, and it's very easy to cut out because it's nice and stiff. So this is like a little maple leaf. So you can see that the leaf has a variety of colors of the fall. It also has the texture of the fabric. The back side does not have the texture, but you could use the same thing. So if you like the back side instead of the front, that's fine. But I have the 2 cut out, and now I'm going to put them together so I can put a wire in it. I'm now going to paint the pumpkin. I'm going to use some orange, basically to go over the whole thing, and then accent it with maybe some of the green and the yellow. If you have the natural corks and they have the red wine and of different sizes and the different colors of the cork, those are also really nice to be just a natural color instead of painting it. You can paint the other side too when this dries, and it could be a stand-up pumpkin. If you wanted to be just like a wall hanging, you can just leave the other side blank. I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to try to do the other side as I'm holding it. And you don't have to paint it perfect. I'm going to add maybe some yellow just to get some of the texture of the pumpkin. To make brown or dark green, you can mix the orange and green together, and that will get you your brownish color. So this is going to be my stem up here. Going to let this dry before we add the leaves. Now we're going to make the little vines that come out of the pumpkin. This is about a 8 to 10 inch wire. It's the thin wire. And I am going to start in the middle of my chopstick or skewer and start just wrapping it and just roll it around. Even squish it together. And then pull it right off. I'm going to do another one. Wrapping the wire again around the chopstick or skewer. Pushing it together to make it a little bit tighter. Then pulling it off. Now I'm going to use my hot glue gun and glue these into place. I showed you how to make our leaves, but I'm going to use the store-bought leaves from Michael's or Joann's, and I'm just going to add to the glue at the top and place them in. Again, once it dries, then you can really shape them or put them to whatever direction you would like. Put a little one on this side too. This is our autumn pumpkin made with corks. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And remember, a day without sunshine is just an extra day for crafting. Start saving your corks because there are many more projects that we can do with corks.